Dear viewers, back at it again. ESLOL promotion bracket first play day. We can call it play day. Second round is about to be played. Again, I'm not alone. And my side is still Rinsing.
Yo, hello again. Now, fresh, welcome back for game number 2, of course. And I hope, of course, that PERTINAX ESPORTS is also fresh for game 2, because they need to adapt after that game 1 performance they have shown. I mean, the early game looked kind of fine. The draft, I mean, we had our disagreements, but I mean, if they just played out a bit differently, it could work. And now I just want to see them just draft something that also works with their playstyle very well, because I think there was just kind of a mismatch between those two things.
I mean, fortunately, it is a best of 5, so they will definitely have I think 2 more rounds to adapt.
Possibly, yes. I mean, it's a
Yes,
best of 5,
possibly,
right?
yes.
So,
Possibly, yes. So
yeah.
let's see how that will work. Or maybe they will find their way back into the game. Maybe they will pick the right comp. I will just say the right comp because Sichuani hasn't been the pick for me. I will be straight up honest here. Sichuani and Vi haven't been picks for me.
I'm just gonna say the Sejuani is fine, but it shouldn't be top lane. I mean, just pick Sejuani jungle and just pick a different top laner that actually counters Renekton, right? And then it could work. I mean, you could have picked the Jax, you could have picked the Gnar. I mean, what's really an option for the side of Handiger Hans or JJS is his name in this overlay. I mean, remains to be seen. I mean, he played a lot of Gragas, which is kind of unlucky because Gragas got nerfed and he's not the champion that he used to be anymore. It's kind of known as Borg bug anymore. So if they can't counter the Renekton, I just think they need to pick it early themselves. I mean, there was an option to pick it in the R1, R2 rotation and they just didn't go for it. So I hope they find a way to fix this issue for game number 2 as we are heading into the second draft.
Speaking of picks, right? Or more speaking of bans, talking of bans, we have the Kha'Zix ban as we expected. We have the Aatrox ban. Like, I'm not really surprised by that. The Nico ban is actually kind of off for me. I don't feel like Nico is the best ban to pull out here.
I mean, Nico's pretty strong in general, and Beacon, I mean, we just now saw a very different look for him, but in general, he has been a control mage player, so getting that out of the system is definitely not something that's really wrong or anything. It's also somebody who played like a decent bit of Victor in the split, for example, and Nico definitely, with the soft rework, a champion that can really find an impact. And we just first picked the Shinjao again outside of Rift Sloths, and I initially was doubting the pick, and then Shredded really performed in the early game, especially with these cheesy ganks on towards Merlin's Orianna, and definitely made the pick worthwhile. And now we see what will PERTINAX ESPORTS do. Either have a counter ready for Renekton or pick it now, because otherwise with Sloth they will pick it, guaranteed.
Yes, definitely. I will just pick Renekton. I think this is
I prefer not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble. In big trouble. And I don't want to be in big trouble. Nah, jokes aside. I mean, if it's a jungle Sejuani, then they can actually play Renekton and Sejuani, right? That could also work. But they don't. They picked the Xayah again. The Renekton will come now and just make it be a jungle Sejuani now, please. Because there, of course, what a surprise. The same exact rotation from Rift Sloth so far.
Yes, they just didn't.
And
switch
also
up
from
anything.
PERTINAX.
Yes. Nothing has been changed. Nothing. Something has been changed.
It's just a hover. I mean, Mikasa shouldn't be baited by hover. It could still just go towards the Braum. And I actually think that the Braum wasn't the problem. The Braum was absolutely fine.
Was good. The Braum was
Braum,
okay.
Braum into poke virus. I mean, actually, I think Alistar might be worse, but it will be the Alistar for now. And I mean, Alistar also a decent answer into the Nautilus. I don't want to judge the pick before it really happened in any shape or form, right? I mean, Alistar can still do, and I just want to give Leolas the possibility to cook a little bit here. I think the Alistar is a fine pick. I just think the Braum was not like a negative outlook on the draft that we liked to criticize so much in game number 1.
The Braum has been okay for now. The PERTINAX ESPORTS, they adapted something. They banned the Silas, which is very reasonable considering that Pekan got into the back line like almost all the time and made use of his shackles.
Yeah, absolutely. As we are going deeper into this ban rotation, and yeah, the Silas being away is of course something that definitely makes it a tad easier for PERTINAX ESPORTS. There won't be any like stolen glacial prisons being thrown around to just kill the Xayah anymore. That's definitely at least a little bit of a plus. And yeah, Let's wait and see. What will Beacon's option be? I mean, I expect a control mage now, because, I mean, Nico is banned, Silas is banned, and in general, he has been the kind of player that goes for something like this, and they still need, like, a huge magic damage threat on the side of with sloths.
Maybe we'll see something like Victor.
Yeah, Victor's pretty likely, actually. Or something like... that's a bit of a joke. AP Varus.
AP Varus? Maybe AP Varus Smith?
Yeah. Probably not.
Okay, it's Sejuani top lane. I mean, it could be Trundle top lane as well. I don't want to judge anything.
Yes! Actually, Trundle is good into Renekton.
Maybe Trundle top lane could be a call. Hey.
Yes, he survived the early game, and then
PERTINAX.
he steals all the AD from the Renekton, so he can't just slice dice for everything. And Trundle in general, he just wins a lot of 1v1s. I mean, as long as he can like force Renekton to the side lane, he just wins this one. So please make it be a Trundle top lane here.
Yes,
And it will be the LeBlanc on their side. I mean, I said control mage, but LeBlanc with statics is a little bit more like control mage-esque, I just gotta say. He's not a full assassin anymore. And the last option on their side, they're hovering the Vayne. Please don't pick Vayne. I mean, the Varus worked fine. Just pick it again. Well, why not? Ah, there we go.
Okay. I'm not as excited anymore.
Yeah, I mean, Vayne would be more exciting, but Varus is such a safe
Definitely
option.
the better pick.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yes.
I don't want to argue about that. Definitely the better pick. Vayne would have just been more excited for me.
You know, what did we really change on sort of rifts of this game, right? I mean, it's just a mid lane pick, and it's still like a decent kill pressure pick that we could really go for as you're trying to catch a fly or something. And they will want out.
It's so small, but it's so annoying.
Yeah, like a fruit fly.
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't even know how it came into my fucking room. I'm in the basement. How did it manage to go into my basement?
Do you have like fruits around, like bananas or apples?
No, the only thing.
Because usually they're like tiny eggs that we can't even see of the fruit flies. They are on the fruits themselves, and then they just hatch.
I don't even know how, because I have nothing in here which is close to being food. Maybe my can of energy drinks, but they're closed, and I have one open here, which I just opened. I'm so confused.
Maybe. I mean, I'm an analytical color caster, but I cannot give you like an in-depth analysis on why the food flies are in your room. Sorry.
But why? You said it. You are good at analyzing. Just analyze that.
I mean, I just gave you like one possibility, and you just immediately just knocked this one over, right? With the potential of like food being around. Either way, that's not the case. What is the case is that Merlin picked Aoi here, and Merlin just now struggled on the Orianna for one reason in particular, and that was lack of mobility. The Aoi at least provides a good chunk of mobility for him.
Yes, definitely. But I hate Ari. Don't like her.
Why?
At all.
Why?
Because I feel like Ari is a decent control mage and a decent assassin, but she's not good at it. I don't feel like she's good at it.
She is like half assassin, half control mage, but neither really outstandingly good at one or the other.
Yes.
I actually don't disagree. I think that's kind of fine, but I think she can be fine to LeBlanc, because LeBlanc can't just distortion forward and then just win the trade with another Q and then distortion back, because the Ari just will absolutely charm the LeBlanc and then just run a double Q through her and press W for the Foxfire and then hard win that trade. So it won't be that easy for the side of BCAT.
Yes, I feel like you might be right actually. You're most likely right. Yeah, I just don't like Ari like.
It's also their like main source of magical damage, and her basically only source of magic damage, because Sejuani, that's the surprising thing, Sejuani mostly does physical damage actually. You wouldn't really believe it.
Sejuani top lane again!
That's true, that also really triggers me, because we just now saw him lose his matchup, and they could have opted out of it. Even like last second, could have been Trundle top lane, but they were like, no. I'm not convinced, but I also don't want to wild off too soon. It just didn't work for one game. Maybe he just chose a whole different approach to the laning phase in the first place. Doesn't get like frozen on pre-level 6 and not get hard out farmed over there. Then it could maybe work, but also still no ignite on the Sejuani top lane, so I'm already more on the disliking side.
I'm not convinced with Sejuani top. I've never been convinced with Sejuani top, and this is even worse now.
It had its strong points like half a year ago with Ignite and against Menina, where you just straight up kill the Menina with level 6 all in. That could work, or it also worked against different picks, but it's no longer strong. And it's especially not strong against the Renekton that can just easily outlast the kill pressure and then just slice and dice through the Sejuani and kill her.
Slice and dice.
That's how the E is called.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know. Just said I know.
Ah,
Wait. Do you know every spell on League of Legends?
yes. Thanks for asking.
How did you do that?
You just learn them all.
Because I think it's like
That's
how did you learn them? Tell me. I need your secret because I'm working on that for like 3 months or something now. And
There's a Sprockle quiz for every combination, like from champion to ultimate, from ultimate to champion, from Q to champion, from champion to Q, and so on.
You just grinded that one.
I grinded those one, and also I made those ones. That's why they're on Sprockle. Because there were ones and they weren't updated, so I was getting triggered by that, so I just made them on my own. That's
so
why I know every
I did
ability
your
name.
quizzes all the time?
Maybe you did, if they were like sent through SCN, that might just have been mine, yeah?
Damn! Nobody told me. they just sent it to me very like, yeah, this is cool, some guy made it, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, must be an awesome dude, right?
Well,
Yeah.
but I took it. It's insane, honestly, it's insane.
Yeah, and if you find a mistake, just send me an angry DM and I will try to fix it.
I mean, there is not I'm just kind of silly on that. I don't know. Is that Yasuo? Huh? On Alistar?
What?
Why does he look like Yasuo?
I have no idea.
Look at Alistar. He looks like Yasuo.
I will try to catch him the next time.
Look at that.
Ah, you mean like the way his hair is, because it just it's like
Yes.
tied like that at this point.
He looks like Yasuo.
It's like the Ronaldinho haircut from back in the days. I'm not sure if you're too young for that one. When Ronaldinho was a good footballer in his prime, he had the hair a little bit side like this.
They might be
Or,
a bit too young.
or
for that.
actually, Striker Lucian is more like him. Well, no, Striker Lucian is actually styled similarly to a famous Dutch football player that actually sued Riot Games. But let's not go too deep into this.
He sued Riot Games.
Yes, and he won. And then, yeah, I think he got like a percentage of the earnings from the skin or something.
What?
I mean, rightfully so. I mean, they just basically took his appearance and made a skin out of it.
Yes, but isn't that the best?
It's an honor, you mean?
Yes, like an honor or how do you?
Kinda yes, but I mean, people think different about those kind of stuffs, I guess.
Maybe.
Anyway, here's Sejuani top lane. Let's see it in all its glory and how it already loses the first trade.
Nice. Oh my lord! I just don't believe that you pick Sejuani again on top lane. You can't be serious. I'm sorry, you can't be serious.
Also, that Greasen hook wasn't that serious. As we saw in the first game, right, where he was like hooking in and then the enemy bot lane hit level 2 before their own bot lane. That was kind of an awkward situation. This time he just hooks earlier and just misses straight up. I mean, if you miss the hook, you don't go too deep.
I think today is not the day for Grizzly Sooks actually, but no, they hit level 2 and Grizzly just ignited Leolas. Look bad, it looks good, yet still it has to flash out of the situation with the HB, trying to get some damage onto Alice. And I think, yeah. That was
they hard won this. One ignited, they get the flash from Leolas and also a huge HP advantage over this one. I mean, Alistar almost died from this one. He's now chugging potions and healing with the Triumphant War if he ever gets to use this one. And now Xayah is in a very awkward spot where she's constantly fearing a potential dredge line really hitting her. And also Nautilus playing with the Fog of War a little bit to make it hard for her to guess.
Yeah, that was actually well played over SLOTHS. They got some juicy kill pressure here on bot lane. Especially with Leolas not having flash.
Ah, Lex missed a minion. Have you seen that one?
I didn't see that, but I'm just looking at the way he just speeds updating us.
You just look at Sejuani angrily. And that's basically it.
Staring in disbelief.
Yeah. Yeah, either way, let's try to be a bit serious, and yeah, very serious is Shredded apparently.
Yeah,
I think at this point Shinja wins this one. Later he doesn't.
He just does. Look at that. Shredder is just look! Oh my god! First blood for Shredder, and Leolas joins the party. He's trying to get, he's trying to get away.
And
What
it's
is happening?
disaster. Makela even flashed this one. He tried to like last second flash like the what's it
Auto
called?
attack.
The wind becomes lightning, and then he just got caught by it in the distance from it. So it was kind of screwed for him. And yeah, mid lane you see, I mean, you're not liking Aoi, and I kind of understand this one. I mean, those traits, they look okay, I would say.
They look okay. Ja, nee.
Yeah. Should have been a Lissandra.
Yeah, I stick to me not liking Ariel. Look at, oh, it's Sichuani top lane.
And I think Lex could have stayed in this one. He had empowered Fury, like above 50 Fury, and was in the longer trade. And Conqueror potentially on his side, while Sejuani is running the grasp. He could have going for this one, especially with the wave being a bit thicker on his own side. But
Oh, wait.
I mean,
I have a wait.
Don't risk it.
Dynasty won their first game on the other best of 5.
okay. I
Just
think
to
that
put it
shouldn't
out
be a
there.
surprise because Dynasty was 2-3 in the finals against Riftsoft. So they should be, by margin of this, the second strongest team. So them winning one game is like the opposite of an upset, basically. So they are just fulfilling the expectations so far.
Yes, and now we have Demolish. Bada bing, bada boom. Tower plating.
He's so rich right now. There will be
I
a
don't
time where you can just beat him up with his portemonnaie or something.
At this point, I'm just furious currently at PERTINAX Esports.
Yeah, the Sejuani just now slightly loses lane and then gets outscaled. What a brilliant pick it is.
I am dang livid.
Yeah.
I am livid.
Yeah, he definitely needs to make work in his team fights to really justify that pick a little bit. I mean, if he just hits a point-blank glacial Puzzlemon towards Alice and then just full-on engages him like he did last game when they had this one split fight, it could work out. But how reliable is that really? I think it kind of isn't, and just now he's just not winning this lane whatsoever.
We need to stop lying to ourselves. The pick is just crap. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Sometimes I try to brighten up some things, but I can't brighten up this one.
I mean, it's my job as a color caster to play like a little bit of a devil's advocate. I mean, I need to really dive deep into the player. Like, the player, of course, in general, is a lot smarter about top lane than I am, despite me being a top lane main. So he definitely has like some thought behind it, and I want to find out what it really is.
Yeah. No, I kind of want to like the pick. I'm trying to force myself to like it, but Grisen! Grisen, I love you, but I don't love you at the same time because you just got yeeted into the turret of PERTINAX Esports. A Mr. HP made use of that. Makala is now currently being pressured by Shredded. It's still, look at that. He's not able to get out because Merlin, ex machina, he came right time, right spot, and got the kill on Shredded here.
Gotta say, where PERTINAX Esports W for sure. They get this 2-for-1. Also, shutdown for the Aoi this time. Shredded yet again gets a solo kill onto its enemy jungler. In the Xin Zhao vs Trundle matchup, which was very close this time, and it's getting closer and closer every time they face each other. But also, you have seen this little bit of a deep dive, literally, by the side of Grisen, where he just gets headbutted into the turret and can't really play the game anymore. So 2-for-1 plus a shutdown for PTX, and they definitely live happy with that one.
Yeah, this is so unfortunate. Oh no. Look at now Merlin being CC'd here. Oh, McCann! He dodged it! But he has cooldowns. Way too much.
And he also doesn't really have AP, so it definitely looks a little bit awkward on the little long pick. But this, of course, will get fixed as he can grind some items. And this, similarly to last game, right? The Drake setup being there.
Storm.
That's a very early Feather Storm. I think this is now with Stuff Drake, just because of that, because this important ultimate cooldown is now down.
Yeah, this is unfortunate for PERTINAX Esports, but I think actually giving up the kill is worse than losing the dragon.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, but he should be like inclined to use the Feather Storm in the first place. That's the point, right? He missed that beforehand, and that was like the misplay on the situation.
Oh, just look at Lex. He's such a rich guy now. The richest crocodile Murph.
I mean, he's 2 platings plus 15 CS ahead. There should be like around 2 kills of gold by now. Like 700 gold is probably ahead. I mean, if you just show the goal again, you can maybe see this one that's Shredded.
The charm. The charm is being insane. Now Shredded gets back. He re-engages into Makala. It's not enough damage for him. And now Bagan got his kill onto Makala. But he needs to get away from Merlin. And he does. He makes a bamboozle.
He does, he has a passive and also a distortion. And he also would have had another flash just in case it would have been like super close. In general, of course, not really the best fight to just trade 1-for-1 over and over again into the Trundle and Aoi, not the ideal scenario. Well, I mean, this tunnel is 0-3 right now, and Shenjiao definitely outplaying him so far, but it's kind of the thing with Shenjiao in the early game, right? I mean, he definitely is a dominant actor in this one, and he also just goes through these mechanical plays, but eventually he just falls off anyway, so it's definitely something that doesn't really feel too rewarding on this side. Just depends on how will the power spikes turn out in the mid lane, right? Because Bikan is definitely behind against Merlin so far, and it's kind of not his fault.
Yeah, now we have on bot lane the next skirmish, or even the next fight. Look at Grizzin being extremely low here. Nice ultimate by Elise.
They are turning this.
Oh yes, yes, he just turns it around. It's not enough.
Ah, Leolas sidestepping or just not
Merlin.
getting hit by the pit
Oh, Merlin. Oh, Merlin. Merlin. Merlin?
Merlin?
Merlin. Merlin.
Ah, they can't really dive this one too cleanly. The push down needs to come in.
I dare them to dive.
Not now they can, because now like the Alistair ultimate is up.
Oh, Alice flashed it. Nice. The hook of Grizzin. Didn't find his target. And now Merlin will be trying to predator him. Foxfire is doing insane damage.
Bikan is here.
Not enough, but where's Bikan? Leonas, get down, my guy! Alice with the next kill. And now Merlin is being targeted by the tower. Being extremely low, and Bikan is not chasing him. Okay.
Yeah.
I expected to chase that one.
Same.
Maybe better to not chase him because of Makalave.
Yeah, maybe just a general lack of vision. You just don't know what's really going on around there. I mean, probably just the throttle, but other than that, just not going for too much. I mean, they just, yeah, prevented the dive and also got a positive play out of it, right? Because they were getting the herald beforehand and now also being there at the right place at the right time for the side of Bikan. He has a static shift power spike now also ready for himself. And Ari not being able to land the charm. Unfortunate, misaiming by the side of Merlin, or just also good sidestepping from Alice there. And so this play can get salvaged on the side of Rift, SLOTHS, so they are just now firmly ahead. Got the first Drake, got the first Herald, and also still a bit more than 1000 gold in the lead.
Look at that. Top lane. Legendary.
Yeah, and also I need to bring up one more adaptation that we missed so far.
Tell me.
Despite it being the same champion. It's now Lethal Tempo Varus with the Kraken Slayer. I like that much more actually.
Ah!
I mean, that also works.
Insane.
Yeah.
Insane, yes. I am happy to see that.
Yeah, it's almost like they're listening to us. I mean, they probably aren't, and they shouldn't, because they just get much better advice from their coaches. I would assume so.
Yeah, I would hope so. We're sure they're getting the next kill on Leolas here. And now, oh look at that, they actually tried to chase throughout the jungle. Merlin now being... did the hook it? Can you go back to jungle, please? I'm trying to look at something here.
The auto observer's like, no, please don't look at it. Please don't look at it. It's like 18 plus. It's not 9 PM yet.
Directed camera being like...
Yeah, I mean, the AI is just superior.
It's not late enough. We have underage people.
Exactly. Also needs to be like compromised with Belgian, Luxembourgian, and also Dutch law. It's very hard to do.
So they just decide to not show anything.
Yes, just in case that you don't break any law. So many countries involved.
Oh, look at that.
Alice.
Nice cleanse here by Mr. HB. But again, enemy jungle, top side. But there's nothing being made out of that.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
this
top lane.
Is so... wirklich...
Turret aggro?
Look at that. This is so... It's so rude. Look at Lex and now he just straight up proxy farms him.
And the sad thing is, it was like a best case scenario for JJS. Like, he got the Glacial Prism with no minion wave still being there under the turret. So actually the turret was helping him, and he still wasn't winning that. That's how disastrous this matchup is so far.
This is
he's down 30 CS plus almost a full turret on his own.
Oh, Bakan! Oh my lord. I almost expected him to just go in.
Yeah. And it makes you so angry you just suddenly turn German again. Wirklich.
Yeah,
oh, the TP?
I was livid! How do you not? Oh my lord! No, he flashes now, my lord! No, you can't tell me, Lex. Why would you flash after him? He's not a threat. You wouldn't flash that. How did you think that you would be able to chase him?
I mean, he also fought the flash from JJS, so it actually ended up being fine. And he's just definitely, being able to stop the teleport there. Also just JJS thinking that he can easily escape out there with using less. But either way, can they escape from here?
No, I don't think they can escape from it. Look at Shredded now trying to maybe getting like someone out of the situation, but Grisen. Yeah. I think singing "What a Wonderful World" would be more suitable here.
Maybe it would, and sadly now the minion wave's no longer in the top lane. Otherwise, it would have been another demolish proc, and surely the tower eventually for the side of Lex. By the way, still this game now progressing towards the ending of the turret blades, and no turret being taken whatsoever from either side, despite Driftsloth having a much cleaner game this time, and definitely a much more one-sided affair so far in the early game. No turret to be taken. Actually, it might just be Mr. HB in the bot lane to just rush it down, but of course Lex can just win the race on the top side because it's just that much better. And I wonder if he's just that much better mechanically, or is just Renekton so much better than Sejuani.
I think this is just Renekton gaming.
I think it's also both. I mean, it's also like a choice that we just need to judge, right? That they didn't opt into the Renekton after seeing game 1, opt for the Sejuani instead, and also last second when they had the chance yet again to not pick Sejuani top lane, to pick it again.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know.
the player needs to have some responsibility.
Nobody can tell me that this, like, it is so. Why would you pick it? Why would you pick Sejuani top in this matchup after you've seen the first game?
Certainly for game 3 there will be a different option. I just gotta hope so. I mean, actually just first time the Jax. It's a good matchup. I mean, even if you can't play it,
Just first time.
at least the win con would be there, right? I mean, even the champion must be slow.
Just first time the Jax.
Yeah, I mean, he probably has like more champion mastery in Sejuani than on the actual good picks into Renekton, right? But even if you have like 1,000 million, or I mean, there's actually 1 billion, 1 billion mastery point on that one, you still don't beat this champion because the Renekton, if he just has hands, he just doesn't lose this one. There's no way to lose it.
Yeah. Look at that now on bot lane. I see trees of green. Come on! He just stopped fighting. He just stopped out of nowhere. Oh, look at that. Grisen now being pressured here. Elise, the ultimate has been good. Shredder goes into the pie. Gets Makala. But, oh, he just... Damn, he's almost full life. How? Oh! The W enabled him to get back into Leolas, but it's not enough to actually get the kill down here.
Yeah, can't get the support. I mean, Alistar's just way too tanky with the ultimate being on, and also just not worth chasing him. I think they probably could take down the Alistar, but do they really want to waste so much time on this one where they can just get this juicy Herald that's right next to it, right? I mean, it's probably be theirs. Makula's down, no smite to contest it, but the Rift Herald Eye, proccing that one is almost as much damage as a smite would be, or even more, depending on the situation. So there's still to be wary of this one. It's a Hex Flash, Dredge Line doesn't quite connect, but the second Herald certainly does. And this goes to Riftsloth as well. And they can use this one, potentially like in a bit more than a minute, just as a distraction while the Drake is spawning to just secure that third Drake on their side.
Yeah, just look at that now. With Riftsloths, I think making the way towards Soul Point, but also towards the next line, or the second line of the towers of PERTINAX Esports. Gonna leave the mid lane tower being the only one up, but look at that, trying to go into Mr. HP. It's still Merlin, finds way into the back line, gets the killing spree onto Elise, and now Riftsloths, they have to disengage situation on mid lane with potentially losing their T1.
Oh, Merlin!
Red Foxfire, oh my lord, look at the ultimate of Shredded here, preventing himself to die.
Yeah, can't really get more than a single kill over there, and maybe actually, I mean, considering the fact that they are on the bounties. The bounties are falling off soon, however. I don't know why the bounties are falling off soon, but because Riftsloths just seems to stomp this game so far. But I mean, there probably is a reason for that one. As I addressed it earlier, right? I mean, Drake is soon to be started, and this game you could actually see a Dragon Soul, right? Because there's no like team that is actually behind getting the first 2 Drakes all of a sudden. And this time, Riftsloth definitely being a bit more clean in this execution. As we just now also see a very rare occasion, Sejuani actually proccing her Demolish. Last game, he only had like 1 turret being taken by the side of PTX. This game it might actually be 0. But I mean, to be fair, the other turrets, they are quite low, so they probably will fall down eventually as well.
Yeah, now the first turret of PERTINAX Esports being taken down, which enables the Riftsloths to get pressure onto that dragon. Yet still, I feel like PERTINAX Esports might be cooking something right here.
I mean, they are very much on vision there. Are they engaged champions?
Look
Who's
on
cooking
the
whom?
It's juicy, but look on VTPs. Bakan the back line again, trying to get Mr. HP. It's still Bakan being really, really low. But Leolis, he needs to leave his life here to Bakan. Look on JJS being taken down. Oh, Shredded died to Makala. When did that happen? How did I not see it? I just
Probably
missed it.
subjugate, right? Maybe just the ticking damage that just is kind of invisible and you just die to the tunnel at some point. And this is actually huge. Because with the jungler being down, enemy jungler being up, you can't just take the Drake. You basically just leech it for the side of Makala. He would have his flash up. He would definitely get into the pit. He is tanky enough on the Trundle, despite going this damage-intensive item build. And also, something that's also creeping up is following thing. Merlin on this AoE pick. You said you didn't like it. I mean, maybe you won't like it because it's absolutely destroying us so far. 14 Magi stacks out of nowhere. This AoE hurts now. It definitely deals damage.
Well, I mean, I didn't say I don't like Merlin playing Ari. I just don't like Ari in general.
Yeah. But this AoE definitely hurts.
This
Like
Ari definitely hurts, yeah.
The main criticism is kind of out of the window, though, because she's very well fed and very well stacked on the Magi's.
Definitely, definitely. And now I think we're actually are about to see the next dragon fight coming right out with Bakan again on his flank, trying to get an angle here to maybe one-shot Mr. HP. I don't know how he will do that with Merlin being as strong as ever. But now Makala, the pillar, is insane. He is able to get a hold of Grizzin, who is charmed. And look at that, Grizzin is just not dying. It's still unstoppable, but Featherstorm has been more than insane and almost enough to get a 2-2 trade here. But Elise and Shredded, they are still alive and they might try to get an angle here. And they do. They get down JJS. Look at that. Elise getting his well-deserved kill here. And they will try to push out this Herald to maybe find an angle on that dragon.
Yeah, they will probably just consult this Herald for a while, just be on its side so it gets a charge off, get this turret down, and now on the way out, just get the dragon. And there's basically nothing that PTX can really do about it. They could probably just flip another fight for this one, but they probably don't really have the resources for it anymore, as Merlin used everything he had in his arsenal. And that's like this one thing that's really like the ticking time bomb here. Just kill Merlin once. He's on 20 Majestacks now. He is very, very scary, but also he's like the only one who's really scary on the side of PTX so far. As a Tijuani.
Yes.
Just now walking back of gold, just something for Alice to lifesteal off of later on in the game when he actually builds some lifesteal on his side. As he just now pinches his Rage Blade. Might just be a blade. Wait, that's the wrong team. Why is the wet side team on the Drake?
Because
Oh!
SLOTHS
Oh!
towards Nash. They are trading. And I think this is actually better than taking the dragon.
Yeah, this could just be the famous Donald Trump quote now. Where this is the worst trade deal in the history of trade deals, maybe ever. But we actually need to finish the Baron for that one, and maybe we can't.
Yeah, they just can't because look at that, PERTINAX ESPORTS, they're getting back at it, yet still killing. Oh, Mr. HP, you got caught here! Look at that, there's CTP coming from Merlin. It's still, he has to dodge out instantly, and is not able to get a charm out here.
And I said before game 1, Mr. HB needs to gap Alice, the assistant coach, and I just gotta say, he just kinda get him the wrong way this time, because the assistant coach is absolutely showing off and maybe just heard me talking shit, and I just owe Alice an apology. I wasn't really familiar with this game. That Chain of Corruption was definitely absolutely clutch, and the Featherstorm couldn't even come out by the side of Mr. HB, and this cold them the Baron. It actually wasn't a clean knuckle setup whatsoever from Rift Esports, but on their side, just very good mechanical play in the teamfight itself, so they get the Baron anyway.
That has been insane. Just look at Alice. This assistant coach is slaying in this game.
He has the most kills of the whole team. He's absolutely carrying them on the back right now. I mean, he didn't need to play poke barrels. He actually played the on-hit barrels this time for one reason. He actually is the most important DPS carry for the team. He's just better.
He's not only better, he's gapping. He's like creating a gap between Mr. HB and himself. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't expect him to show up that much.
Shredded, that's a bit deep.
Yeah, Shredded is. He was a bit overestimating himself, and now Grizzin has to live with the consequences of the actions of Shredded.
Why? Why are you there? Why don't you just play lanes? You know what the Baron buff does? It empowers your minions. Where are the minions? In the lanes. Where are the minions not? In the jungle. Where are you fighting? In the jungle. You should not do this, and you actually know this one. This makes me angry.
Angry Quincy.
You don't even get the tier 2 turret in the top lane as well. There's just so much tempo wasted, also just a lot of gold wasted. I mean, you basically have shutdowns on everyone when you're so far ahead, and there's just no... I mean, probably in case of Shredded, because he was inting before and he definitely didn't have a shutdown. It's kind of like the positive out one. As Lex is also probably getting caught, but it's Lex, so I'm holding my judgment.
Yeah, Lex, no.
That's the thing. He plays it well yet again. He's also decently strong, but not strong enough for 1v4. And just now it's such a horrible sequence, right? You have the Baron, basically, you trade the Drake for this Baron, right? I mean, and what did you really make use of this Baron so far? Absolutely nothing. You gave them like now 3 kills and an objective bounty to the top side. Actually, the team with the Baron should get more to it than the team that doesn't get Baron.
Yeah, I feel like they didn't get much use of that dragon. It's still they try to get the T2 bot lane and they will get that one. So I can't say that Baron had much value. At least they got 1 turret.
Yeah, they got 1 turret against 1 turret with the Baron. That they actually sacrificed the Drake for. When they were far ahead and the enemy also got a bounty. Yeah, I'm not too happy about it.
I like how you just explained it. They had Baron, and they got 1 turret, but the enemy got 1 turret. Wait.
Yeah, super worth. 1 turret and a bounty. Anyway. Nice. What we still have, what the enemy doesn't have, from the side of Rifters, is the following thing. We have got Rika Shojin. They don't have that one, so definitely something that we can look out for. Gotta say, the Trundle also looking strong, right? Full damage Trundle, I said it before. Triforce plus Shojin. He also basically has no cooldowns whatsoever and can just constantly attack you down with insane attack speed and just use his Q, empowered auto attack as a reset. And he definitely hurts once he's actually in the face of the virus, for example, which he, however, should never be. If you're completely honest.
Trundle playing Earth here.
Yes.
Oh lord, the next dragon is coming right up in 45 seconds. So let's see how that will go. It's still... They want to get an angle here and Shredded tries. Oh, Glacial Prison is not finding this target yet still. Makala will be going on to Shredded and Shredded has absolutely no chance of surviving here. So Lex is like,
this could be huge.
You can take him. You can take him. I don't want to take him.
That Death Timer syncs awfully well with the Drake Timer, so it could just be another Drake drop to the side of PTX for no reason yet again. With him just being called again, and Merlin, he's the stronger mid laner right now. The Ari is super scary, and the Blanc can't not play this one.
Oh, Bekan still tries to get out of it. He just tries to. Look. Whoop! Merlin is godlike.
And just now his mages is
what
fully
is
stacked.
Happening? They should have
He's
won
on
that
25
game.
stacks. I mean, and they are still ahead actually. There are still bounties for PTX.
They should have won that so easily.
For everything. Yeah, now another Ocean Drake drop. They just get caught randomly. Back then they sacrificed the Drake for Baron, which they made no use of whatsoever. And Shredded, I mean, after a good early game, so far his impact has been more on the negative side. I just gotta say it. Sorry, Shredded, if you ever listen to this cast. I'm not holding it personally or anything. And Merlin absolutely fed himself this game. Just gotta give credit to the enemy as well on this side. As he absolutely stacked kill after kill. Actually, that's also not personal, I gotta say. I just want... How do I really frame this one correctly?
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, I just gotta say, it's his own loss, basically, you know? Like, if he wants to lose the game, he might just pick Sejuani a third time. Actually, that's kind of like maybe the bait and switch in this game. If they... Maybe it's just Swiftslov throwing this game away so that PERTINAX think that Sejuani top is fine.
If they throw this game, I am so mad.
Then they lost to Sejuani top lane. And then PERTINAX think, yeah, we can just pick it at that time. Why not? It just worked, right? It was fine, no? No?
If they dare to throw this game, like, where are we at? Is this Olympic spear throwing or what?
I mean, Xin Zhao's weapon kind of looks like a spear. So, and it was Shredded also doing heavy lifting in the throwing department. If they actually throw this game, I think he kind of gets the lion's share of the credit for this one. But in general, like, let's be a bit less cynical about it. It's still a 4,000 gold for the side of Swiftslov. And they are like even in Drakes and actually arguably have better Drakes because Ocean Drakes by now, I mean it's 28 minutes into the game, their value is like not non-existent, but also not very huge. It still should be like their game in total. Gotta say though, these AoE Mecha stacks, they are super scary, and they definitely need to be shut down at some point.
Yeah, I don't know, but what I know is that there is a fight coming up in just a second here. If JJS decides to engage it, or even Leolas to look at Merlin. Khan tries to get him down here, but still Leolas with the 4-man knockoff, look at that! Mr. HP procs his Featherstorm. Yet still he doesn't get anyone. Alice is unstoppable, but this fight does not look good. Vatos is not looking good for the Rift Sloths. How do you lose that? My head hurts. Aua.
Yep, that's an ace. And that's the Baron for PTX. And gotta say, straight up 5v5, LeBlanc not really looking good. We can't try to go towards Merlin in the backline, but he couldn't really follow him through. He's less mobile than the AoE. And this ultimately results in the Baron for the side of PTX. Definitely very unfortunate. Alice actually played the teamfight somewhat well, but then he just got headbutted into the face, and yeah, no way for him that anybody could protect him, and thus it actually ends up him falling down. So PTX now looking good in this game. They have the Baron. It's still that's the fully major stacks on the side of the RV, and now it's their game to lose.
Yeah, maybe PTX this gets some more towers with Fnash. Oh boy. Oh no. I feel like the Rift Sloths, they might actually lose this one, and PTX is currently on the biggest flip of their career.
Well, yeah, I mean, certainly. I mean, the game is now thrown. The ball is in the other court by now, and PTX definitely. They also need to punish this, right? I mean, it's also on their side, right? They had no business being in this game at this point, and now they are. And if you're in the best of 5 series, I mean, every win counts, and definitely. This is where they should equalize the score. If they can't win this game, however, it should be very demoralizing for them. Being down like 0-2 in the series, having to reverse sweep after you basically just got fooled around this time. And now gold almost dead even. Baron can probably be used to at least get this bot lane outer turret. I mean, Merlin is pushing up towards this, and I doubt Bakan can defend this whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, the pick of Makala just revolves, like, it's so good, as well as I have to admit Merlin is doing a unbelievably good job on Ari here.
He absolutely is, and Alice can't just really play this fight anymore, right? I mean, he's just playing at so much backline dive, and his protection is a Nautilus. Who of course can do a bit more than nothing, right? But he's not really a protector like a Tam Kench or a Fresh or Morgana would be, or Janna, something along those lines, or even a Braum. The Nautilus can just snare one guy and maybe just get a knockup with the other, and he can't just deal with them all.
Yeah, we need to get an angle here on Merlin. We need to kill him at least one time to just get his stacks down, because with that Ari, how are you going to win that? It's still tries to get an angle on Makala, he gets that, but look at that TP in the backline, which is...
It's good!
It's just Sejuani.
It's actually so good. There's one free pick. Actually, if you are decisive, you can also just turn it into another pick.
Dragon!
Yeah, they don't have a jungler. Actually, PTX rushing this down is so dangerous.
Shredded. How do you give up that dragon? I'm getting livid here!
They didn't have vision. That's totally understandable to not get this dragon. You don't expect this reaction out of PTX. I think you can of course just be a bit quicker in the brain and just realize instantly they might just go for the desperation rush. But that was PTX basically playing with fire, and they ended up being rewarded by this one.
Try not to be mad. This is the challenge here.
Yeah, it's kind of the irony of fate, right? You get one pick on the enemy jungler, and then they get Ryan. It just feels wrong.
Again! I just love it. Again, oh no. First with the Baron situation. You get Baron, you get a tower. The enemy gets a tower. What? You get enemy jungler. They get dragon.
It's just opposite day today.
Yeah, it may be opposite day.
I mean, if it would be opposite day, it would actually be PTX stomping us 3-0 here instead of with Sloths. But that hasn't happened so far. Cannot happen so far. And also the other series, I mean, we heard it earlier, was not upset in the first game at least. So maybe it's not opposite day after all. But I just really want to see what can really happen in these next few minutes. The Xin Zhao as a pick definitely got outscaled by the Trundle. The Sejuani is Of course useless. But the Renekton
Oh,
can
of
definitely have
course
Valiant.
he was- Oh,
We have
Merlin!
Merlin!
Merlin is down! Merlin is down! Maybe it's an angle 4 with Sloths. I just lied. It's nothing. They just get... Oh my god, they get demolished. How? Oh my lord. It's game.
Bakan needs to get the wave. If he gets the wave, this is not game. He got the aggro on all of them. This buys so much time. This could be like the deciding time to prevent this game from ending. The mini wave is very thin. I think Bakan just saved the game. Because they can't finish with this small wave. Bakan is still around. He still annoys them.
Oh no, they just...
How will they finish? They can just only get in him.
You're right. Maybe Bakan maybe being the MVP here.
Yes, and it is a lost fight. I mean, you lost 4 and they get a turret in it, but you got Merlin, and Merlin counts like 3 champions. Unironically. Like, him losing some major stacks is so worth. Actually, due to all these assists, he's only down 4 stacks, which is kind of disappointing. I expected him to be like at like 17 and not 21. I mean, getting Merlin once, and you can probably get him again if you just now land a catch like this one. Merlin, gotta say, give him credit yet again. Accepted his fate and accepted his death and didn't flash, so he would have a flash potentially for a next catch attempt, which is very, very huge. But Bakan kind of just saving the game, and this catch might objectively probably not worth, could end up being worth later on.
Yeah, let's see. Bakan is getting caught here. It's not the... No.
Nah, that's not it.
That's not it. That's not the call.
Yeah, this ain't it. This ain't it. 50 seconds still in the death time. It was so long by now. I mean, it's level 18 on the mid laners, of course.
And Nash is about to come.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this Nash will be gone, and this Nash probably sitting in a potential Ocean Soul with 4 Ocean Drakes. The PTX members will not be easy to kill. I just gotta say this one. But the thing with Ocean Soul is, it's useless if you get one comboed. It is literally no value then, same as Chemtech Soul. That's why those two are like valued below the Cloud Soul by now. So there's still a little bit of hope.
I just don't know how the Rift Sloths are planning to win now.
You catch Merlin again, then you back off for a bit, and then you just try to fight the 5v4.
Sounds like a solid plan, actually.
Yeah, it's not impossible. It's still not really in your hands. I mean, and also like despite this game being like a very frustrating throw, how much gold are you really behind in this game? 2,000 gold in 36 minutes. Basically nothing. Compared to game 1, that's really a joke, if you're being honest. It's really just who really can find the catches, and can PTX really play their combat to the fullest, and just how strong really is this Trundle compared to the Xin Zhao, who really doesn't really provide much anymore. Actually, this might trigger you, but the Xin Zhao is about as useless, if not more useless than the Sejuani, you know.
That's not triggering me.
The Sejuani is very tanky at least, and it's like
this
a
is
huge
something
AoE
I
ultimate.
actually expected him to be very useless in the late game.
Yeah, I mean, we both did. But the Sejuani, while we flame it like all the game, all the 2 games we cast so far, it still has like some like base value that the Xin Zhao just kind of doesn't have.
I mean, she's a tank. Tanks always have some value to them.
Exactly.
That's okay. That's totally fine. I mean, she's not very contributing to the game. It's still look at that. She has enough pressure as we see, so that the rest of the team is actually able to get the 4th dragon here.
And while I said like Ocean Soul, if you get one combo, you can't one combo that Sejuani.
The Glacial Prison. Look at that. Makala maybe being taken down. He is being taken down. Oh, the Feather Storm of Doom. With Mr. HB dominating, double kill, maybe triple kill, quadra kill! Quadra kill! Okay, maybe not for the Penta.
Not for the Penta, but for the game, yeah. That will be the 1-1. This is a very unnecessary throw by the side of Riftslot. They were so clean in the early to mid game. Cleaner than the game they actually won, by the way. And they just didn't bring it home.
We've been so nice to them. We've been like, yes, we are playing this game much cleaner than the last game. And in the end, I would be so frustrated if I would have been the Rift Sloths here.
Yeah, just gotta apologize. This was definitely on us casters for the curse.
Maybe
Can't really have it any other way.
Yeah, maybe the 3rd time Sejuani top lane.
Yeah, that's the question really, right? I mean, because the Sejuani was picked again, deliberately into the top lane, got destroyed yet again in the laning phase, but this time results-based analysis tells us she won, so she was fine. Will she appear another time? And also, now that with Sloth lost, they have side selection. Maybe they actually want to go wet side. I think they probably don't, but I mean, the chance is there.
Why would you want to go red side?
You want to go wet side if you have like the much better top laner, which I think they arguably have, and they just have a banger counter pick prepared for everything.
We are about to find out after a solid break. We will see each other in like 5 minutes. Get something to drink. That will be an intense series. See you in 5.